Hello, my name is Kara Conklin, and I will be comparing 3 law schools and then making a recommendation on which one I should attend. I will be comparing UCLA School of Law, which is located in Los Angeles, and it is pretty high in the rankings. It's probably number 13 right now, and it definitely is the top law school in the Southern California legal market. They have lots of great opportunities for whichever area anyone is interested in because it's such a top law school. And also, I went there for undergrad, so it is a more familiar option for me. And I actually know some of the professors who are at the law school. I will also be looking at University of Minnesota Law School, which is very heavily focused on public interest law. They also provided me with an unconditional full ride scholarship. And then I will be looking at Washington University and St. Louis School of Law. They are awesome with big law placements and federal clerkship placements, which are very hard to get. They have a very strong community, and they also are known for providing lots of money to those who choose to attend. And they have also provided me a full ride unconditional scholarship, as well as a moving stipend for $2,500 if I choose to go there. I will be looking at 4 criteria when making my recommendation for which law school I should attend. The first one is price, and we will be looking at each law school's ABA 509 standard report. This is just their cost of attendance, where they basically have tuition, estimated living expenses, books, etc., anything that they feel you might need as a law school student at their school. And then we're going to look at career outcomes. So we will talk about the location that law students typically end up in after graduation, and we will talk about big law placements, federal clerkship placements. That's definitely something that I want to consider because I think it would be really interesting to do a federal clerkship after law school. And then we're going to look at bar passage rates. That will tell us how prepared law school students are after attending each law school, which is obviously, it's a better thing if people are more prepared to take the bar because you need to pass the bar to be an attorney. And then we're going to look at quality of life. And for this one, I want to look at proximity to my family, friends, community at the school, and also the ability to still do my hobbies, which include pottery. I love running. I love being outside, hiking, stuff like that. The first one we're going to look at is price. And for this one, I have graphics on pages 5 and 6. We have the cost of attendance as provided by each school, and then we have the average monthly rent based on Zillow. So to start off, the highest tuition or the highest cost of attendance is going to be WashU, which also known as Washington University and St. Louis School of Law. I'm going to be referring to it as WashU from now on. It's just easier. So, but we don't really have to take that in consideration because they're giving me a scholarship. So that's awesome. St. Louis is not as expensive as LA. UCLA also is probably, that's the highest tuition cost for me because they aren't giving me a full ride. It's still gonna be probably $30,000 a year or something, just tuition alone. Then we have Minnesota, and we are just gonna go off the cost of attendance, what the school provided. There might be some student housing or some resource I don't fully know about. Obviously, Minnesota has higher rent than St. Louis. So if we are looking at the cost of attendance as provided by the school, we take into consideration that Minnesota gave me a full ride, WashU gave me a full ride. Between those two, we're going to have to go with Minnesota being the winner for this one. For this criteria, we're going to look at career outcomes, and the graphic is on page number 7 of my report. And unfortunately, I realized that this is not a very good graphic for this part because UCLA has such a larger class size that putting just a number of graduates that go into these things is not really good because UCLA is going to win because of course, they have the highest class size. So with that all said, we're still going to look at this, and WashU actually has the highest number of federal clerkships, and that's something I want to do. I also went to the school, and they have someone solely dedicated to helping students with that, which is really awesome because judges can be very particular in the way that they want people to apply. So for this one, because I definitely know I want a federal clerkship, I don't think I want to go into big law, I'm definitely going to go with WashU as winning this one. For this next one, we're going to look at bar passage rates. It's pretty straightforward. The graphic is on page 9 of my report. And this one, basically, we're just looking at what the school has provided for the first-time bar passage rates. Usually it'll tell you how good a school is at preparing its students to go into the field of law. So for this one, WashU wins again. The last factor we're going to look at is quality of life. You can refer to the graphic on page 10 of my report. Some things that I'm looking at is proximity to family, ease of returning home, familiar campus, running and hiking, things I love to do, ceramics opportunities, ability to still explore philosophy in my legal career, and how I felt at the campus, weather, which kind of goes along with my hiking. So if you see here, UCLA hits all those marks. That's super awesome. I am a 2-hour drive from home, which would be really, really nice. It's something I definitely enjoyed in undergrad when I went there. And then we have Minnesota. It's pretty tough there. It is super duper cold. I think I would love the people there, and I loved the campus, but not as much opportunity to do things that would make me happy and probably keep me pretty regulated during law school. WashU, that's a tough one because I didn't love St. Louis. I didn't feel like I connected with the city at all, although I did feel like I connected with the campus. Doesn't really feel like there's a ton of pottery there either. So for this one, UCLA definitely knocks it out of the park. Okay, we've made it to the end. So for price, Minnesota wins. Career outcomes, we have WashU winning, and they also win bar passage rate. But then the quality of life is won by UCLA, and my final recommendation is going to be UCLA because quality of life is the most important to me, and if you don't have a good quality of life, you're probably going to do poorly academically, and then why go to law school at all? So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.